Ouch.
Guy you really want to interview is showing his picture. This might be his father.
I know that I'm going to say how well we're going to do. We are a championship team. I've never seen as many good baseball players at this level of baseball than I have this week. I'm just blessed to be here. I hope, God willing, the team does well, something like that. And then for Terrence, I'm not going to bash on my Dodgers because he really wants me to, but he's just a puss. But I will give the go Brandon on behalf of Terrence Herron. So, thanks.
Thank you.
And watch the Trojans win. I know you're going to be rooting for us on this. You can't do it outwardly, but, you know, on the down low. Go Trojans. You sing a little Sinatra? Dave is a singer, by the way.
I'm not going to sing.
He's a swooner. The women love this guy.
You like the shade, the unshaved?
Yeah, they like the unshaved look, the earring, you know.
They're a little confused about the earring because they're like, wait, I saw one of those in a magazine from 1982. But
right?
But they do love
You know
it.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are we rolling? We're rolling, right? That's good. That's good. I'm Dave Damiani. I'm going to catch today and excited to play the Phillies, even though I'm a native Philadelphian. Hopefully we beat them. And who else? Andy's starting on the mound. Steve's going to pitch. Gil's going to play second base. We got a hell of a team, so it's going to be a good game.
Can you give us just a little Sinatra?
Oh, no, man. I ain't going to sing no Sinatra right now.
Or can you give us a little bit? Just 10 seconds.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. There you go.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Let's go. Steve Garay, second time playing out here. I just started playing baseball a couple years ago. Playing short and pitching, hopefully. If my arm will hold up. Actually, I can't stand the Trojans. I'm a Bruin fan and diehard Dodger fan. And happy to be out here.
Okay.
Love the weather.
What happened to your Dodgers this year?
Injuries, followed by more injuries.
Okay. Yeah.
Personally, I think Muncie injury was the biggest one.
Okay.
My name's Henry Kazmaier. I'm from Leavenworth, Kansas, just to throw that in there. Came first time playing with these guys, and basically utility. I told Dave I could do whatever he needed, and he texted me yesterday, asked me to pitch. Told him I'd do the best I could, and I ended up going, 6 innings, guys? Yeah. They hit us pretty hard, but I did the best I could and got us to a good point for today's doubleheader. So.
What's it like coming out here on this major league field?
This is pretty incredible. I had the opportunity to take BP at Kauffman Stadium where the Royals play. But this is just a different environment because it's an actual game as opposed to taking some batting practice and shagging a few flies and whatnot. It's been incredible, and the fields have gotten better every day. So much different than what I play on back home.
What do you think of your manager?
The manager's great. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. So the fill-in Dave has done a fantastic job. But everybody's been really good to be with. So.
Can we bring Norm in?
Norm?
Oh, really? Yeah.
So I said, howdy, I want to know. Do you have a question for me? What's the question?
Tell us your name first.
My name is Michael Alassi. I'm 54, I'll be 55 tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Thank you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, thank you. Played with the Chihuahuas here in town in Arizona. And met these guys this week. It's been a great time. We've been a rough run, but we're going to win today. And thanks for letting me play. And thanks to Jeff for all you do.
Yes, thank you. And could Norm give this Trojan a little pep talk?
So okay, guys, what we need to do here is we're gonna get out there and we're gonna win, okay? And we're just gonna hit the ball. We're gonna pitch, and that's about it. I don't know. Put me on the spot. Fly me to the moon. Thank you, Jeff.
Hey, Mark Katz, number 1, local guy, played for the Chihuahuas in the local league. I took a shot in the ass this morning for the team, so we better get to it today. Everybody better be patient, and let's fuck some shit up out there.
Well said.
When I was young, this small. Right now, I'm growing up slowly, this tall. Yeah! High five, please! That's all I know, the English. Now I want to introduce my... now I want to introduce
I am
my
Bruce's official translator. So
interpreter or translator forever.
tell me in Japanese what you would like to say.
わかりました。ちょっと待ってください。
He said, I am much better than Otani. Otani dreams every night of playing like me.
Yes.
Oh, and he wants to take his shirt off for us.
Okay.
Maybe more. He wants to show you his, yes, he wants to show you his Otani. Yes.
私は大谷です。
Otani wishes he had a body like this.
どうもありがとう。I love you.
And good luck, I love you.
Thank you, guys.
Definitely violates the rules. I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. We're going to have to protest the game right off the bat. He's too good of a ball player to be playing in the 45 and over division.
And we have it on video. He took his shirt off, name on the back, totally identified, no contact
full
tracing
flexing.
required.
Yeah. So they didn't hide it. Definitely him.
Okay.
That's going to be tough.
I'm number 17, Damian Padilla, out of New York.
I'm Tom Lawrenson out of New York also. We're all on the same team together.
Ed Pinion, number 2 from New York.
Mike Vasquez, number 46, originally from New York.
All right.
As for the ass-kicking assertion, that's why we're here to play the game. Let's see what happens.
We were told this was an easy win, so we're ready for everything.
All right, guys. Thank you for getting on the camera.
Absolutely.
We got our manager here, Mike Dreyfus, sitting to the left of me. We got Richie Boom Boom Cochran in the house. Sperto Perez, our lefty and our first baseman. And our righty and second baseman, Eric Cuja. And I'm Tommy Benelli. I'm your host for this show.
Left fielder extraordinaire.
You want to give a shout out?
Hey, we want to give a shout out for
Robbie Tukey.
Took. We miss you, babe.
Wish you were here.
Miss you.
Hey,
shout out to my mom who had some surgery. She's doing great. And my lovely wife, Janet, and my kids.
Mama B. I'm going to home plate now.
Hats off to Marge's wife. Those 3 weeks at Trembling Hills really paid off.
Go ahead, Gooch. All right. Thank you.
This is me and Damien. We want to do a shout out to our boys back in New York.
Hudson Valley
The
Knights.
Hudson Valley Knights. Sonny, everybody, this game's for you guys.
Well, I'm not done.
Oh, he's not done.
Gotta say, shout out to my wife, Jamie. I wish you were here. Miss you. Me and Tommy have been playing together since we were about 8 years old. Together.
That was it. So that was about 70 years ago?
Yeah.
Long time ago.
So the East Coast Phillies take the field here from beautiful Goodyear Ballpark, and right-hander Rich Cochran will toe the rubber, the starting pitcher here for the Phillies. All right, we're ready to go here for this afternoon affair, and the Southern Cal Trojans going after the first pitch, and Dave Diamante cheese balls fouls off the first pitch of the contest, and this game is underway. Well, it's gotten a little warm here. Hey, take it easy, Norm. Next pitch, swung on and missed. A great tailing fastball in. That looked like maybe the screwball that our starting pitcher Cochran has brought back to baseball. It's the long-lost pitch. Now they call it just a changeup. That's grounded foul, and it's 0-2 on the leadoff hitter. Starting pitcher Andy Felt will follow, and then I'm not supposed to say it, but Otani is going to be batting third for the Trojans, but we're trying to keep that under wraps with the MSBL national headquarters at Tempe Diablo Stadium. And a base hit up the middle. Well, that's what happens when you're a patient hitter at the plate. He got behind 0-2 and drives a single up the middle. So a leadoff single for Diamante. And now our starting pitcher here today for the SoCal Trojans, Andy Felt. First pitch, ground ball, shortstop, double play ball. They'll go second one, and they throw it into right field, down the line. And let's see how far Diamante can go on this one. He's says he was a little tired before the game and was unable to score on that errant throw. And it's 2nd and 3rd for the Trojans here in the top of the 1st inning. So 1st and 2nd occupied, or rather 2nd and 3rd occupied, and here is Bruce Hirota, a.k.a. Ohtani. And the game is already under protest. Manager Michael Dreyfus says that he's already called the league office, and no matter what the final score of this one, the Phillies have already won, as both teams are looking for their first win in this World Series. So it's left coast against right coast. The East Coast Phillies in the all-white, representing the home team here today from the winter home of the Reds and the Cleveland Indians. They call him Bruce Lee at the plate, though his birth certificate says Ohtani. He's got a chance to drive in a couple of runs here and give his team an early lead. No score. We're in the top of the 1st inning. Cochran to the belt and to the plate, and it's inside. Well, okay, that's a strike then. Just a bit inside. And now Bruce Hirota. Pitch. And a drive into right field. This ball is going to get down, and that might score 2 runs. Bruce is heading to second, and he's got a 2-run double, and the Trojans have the lead 2-0. Well, here's Michael Alosi. He is the cleanup hitter for the SoCal Trojans, as he gets set to face the hard-throwing Cochran here. We're in the top of the 1st, 2 runs in, still nobody out. And Alosi takes a knee-high pitch. Alosi is a guy, I mean, from what I understand, he's really good with his hands. He can fix things and works on musical instruments. He can fix your piano. And this is true story. This isn't some of the made-up stuff that we have gotten from time to time here on APN Video. Right now, he's a full-time baseball player and set to go, and he rips one out into left field, a base hit. Oh, a clean single that time as the runner is chucking around third. We may have a play at the plate, and he is out of there. Quick throw to second, not in time, and a nice job of backing it up out there by John. Excellent job by the Phillies defense. So Alosi is at second base. They gun down the runner for the first out, and this one gets away from the catcher, and the runner will move up 90 feet. So now the shortstop is Stephen Garay. So credit Bonelli in left field with the Ellis Valentine Award for the strong throw in to help gun down that runner at home plate. Not a bad-looking pitch there, a borderline inside pitch. Cochran played a little shortstop in the first game. Yeah, that's ball 4. So now runners are at first and third. And now Jim Nicholson for the first time. Boy, nice job by the catcher Denome, who did a lot of that in the first game, and he caught all 9 innings, and he is out here for the second game of this morning-afternoon doubleheader from Goodyear Ballpark. 2-0, the SoCal Trojans. He swings and misses, and it's 1-1. I'd like to thank all the guys for both teams for engaging some good humor in the pregame. Ready with the next pitch. And that's outside, and the runner will advance. That'll be defensive indifference. So now runners are at second and third, still only one out here in the first. The Phillies right now in danger. I mean, depending on how big this inning goes, they gave up 7 runs in the first game of the doubleheader. And we'll keep track of that combined record. The 2-strike pitch. Strike 3 called. And Jim didn't like the call, and that is the first strikeout of the day for Mr. Cochran. That'll bring up the left fielder. This is David Hance, and the milkman bounces one up the middle. Tough pop. That's going to be a base hit, and another run is in as Michael scores from third, and it's 3-0 Trojans. Now the second baseman, Gil Prado. Runner takes off. Here's the throw down, and not quite in time. A short hop throw. Corralled nicely by the second baseman and Damian Padilla. Second and third with 2 out. And a line smash into right field. That's a base hit. Another run is going to score. And they will be at first and third. RBI single for Padilla. Now the 9th place hitter is Mark Katz, the starting right fielder. So just here today, 11 runs have come across against the Phillies defense in the first inning. And he got under that one, popped up. Cochran, the pitcher, got it. Nice play. And that'll retire the side, but 4 runs come across for the SoCal Trojans. After a half an inning of play, they lead 4-0. Phillies coming up. You're getting a look at the starting pitcher, Andy Felt. Hard-throwing right-hander. We got a good pitching matchup here from Goodyear Ballpark as he takes his final warm-up tosses. And he's been staked to a 4-0 bottom of the first inning lead. John Quiroz will start things off here for the Phillies in the bottom half of inning number 1. John had 3 RBIs and our Marucci big play of the day out in right field on a great running catch, and he doubled off the runner at first base. And the first pitch is high and away, ball 1. Mike Dreyfus, Dave Geiger will be the first 3. That was the first 3 in game number 1. Got a new cleanup hitter in Damian Padilla, the second baseman. He offered at that one? No, he did not, and it's taken for a ball. Good pitch. That's a strike. Defensively, Hirota at first base. Prado at second. Garay is at shortstop, and Michael Alosi is at third base. As that one is fouled back and out of play. Katz is in right field, Hance in left, and the center fielder is Jim Nicholson. Cheese balls behind the plate, and a breaking pitch taken high. So the count runs full. Well, they're hoping Andy Felt can give them a good 7 innings here and save some of those innings on their staff. And look at that, another base hit. That's 3 in a row if you go back to the previous game. And John is aboard, and he's got great speed. That'll bring up Mike Dreyfus, batting in the second spot, the manager of the East Coast Phillies. So that's the battle of the coast. He was 1 for 4 in that first game. Strike called, and the throwdown, really no chance. Too much speed out there, and so the Phillies have a runner in scoring position. Phillies had given up 7 runs in the first inning against the Puget Sound Twins earlier today, but then countered with 4 of their own. So, I mean, you know, they don't call them the fighting Phils for nothing. 1 ball and 1 strike on Dreyfus with a chance to drive in the Phillies' first run. That's outside. Well, it wasn't. That's called strike. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. I have a bad habit sometimes of anticipating a strike or a ball called by the umpire, and he's got a better view of it than we do up here. So now 1-2 on Dreyfus, and the pitch over his head, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Getting the start at shortstop today is Mike. And that's going to get away, and John will head down to third. Quiroz at third base, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the first inning. SoCal leads it by a score of 4-0, and the 2-2 is swung on and fouled off at the plate, so Mike's staying tough in there. So another 2-strike pitch coming up to the second place hitting shortstop Dreyfus, and it's inside, and that's ball 4. Dreyfus takes off on the first pitch, no throw, and they'll be at second and third here in the bottom of the first inning for the Phillies, down by 4. Geiger, the third place hitter in the lineup, getting the start at third base, and he takes a strike. It's 1-1. With Damian Padilla on deck, Geiger, the third place hitter. A couple of ducks on the pond here for the Phillies. They need to cut into that early deficit. That went way away, and here comes the runner. And the pitcher not covering in time, and the Phillies are on the board on a wild pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike on Dave. Now you got Dreyfus at third. 4-1 is the score here, with the Phillies at the plate trailing by 3. So a single by Quiroz and a walk to Dreyfus, 3-1 to Geiger, and he swings over a breaking ball, and it's full count. The right-hander sights a sign, and Andy Felt, he kicks and deals, and that's a swing and a miss. Good sinker that time, and that is the first out here in the home half of the first inning. All right, next up for the East Coast Phillies is going to be the second baseman, Damian Padilla. He was giving a shout out to some of the guys back home, and he's up there in an RBI opportunity. That's a strike. Andy works fairly quickly. He delivers the next pitch, and this one hit to the right side and through for a base hit. And Padilla, that one gets by the right fielder. Dreyfus scores from third, and Padilla will have a single. It'll be an error on the right fielder, and the Phillies have cut the lead in half. It's 4-2. So the base hit by Padilla extends the inning, the bottom of the first inning, and brings the tying run to the plate in Eric Cuja. First pitch outside, ball 1. Tom Bonelli is on deck for the Phils, hoping for an opportunity to maybe tie this thing up. 4-2 Trojans in the field. They lead it here in the bottom of the first. And here's a rocket down to Michael at third. Nice backhanded play. Long throw across, and that'll retire. Moving on to third base, the courtesy runner, Geiger. And a nice play there by Michael at third on a good backhanded play. First time up for the Phillies left fielder. Tom takes outside a ball, and a nice job behind the plate there by Cheeseball Diamani. 1 ball and no strikes on Tom. Here's a shot up the middle, and the shortstop can make a play. The run will score, and the Phillies are within 1 at 4-3. Now the left-handed hitting Aspero Perez. Tying run at first base, a 3-run home half of the first inning for the Phillies. And the first pitch is outside for ball 1 to the starting first baseman for Mike Dreyfus's East Coast Phillies. So 2 balls and no strikes. There goes the runner. Pitch is swung on and missed. And the throw down, did they get him? Nope, he dropped the ball. Close play at the bag at second base. So now the Phillies have the tying run in scoring position. 2 out here in the home half of the first inning. Perez with a chance to tie this up. Inside. 2-1 to Perez. The runner takes his lead at second. He's the tying run, and that one fouled off, and Perez now has 2 balls, 2 strikes on him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tying run at second base. 2 outs here in the first. And a swing and a foul tip into the catcher's mitt, and down he goes. But they get 3 runs to counter the 4 they gave up in the top of the inning. We go to the second. 4-3 Trojans on APN. Well, a long first inning. We saw 7 runs collectively scored in the first. As we welcome you back to Goodyear Baseball Park. Henry Kastmeyer will start things off. Second inning of work out there for Cochran. Cochran, and then we'll go back to the top of the SoCal lineup after him. SoCal only playing with 10 players, so they're a little shorthanded. And this was a guy that picked up a lot of innings for them yesterday and really helped save their pitching staff. And in the air and playable for the third baseman, and Geiger makes the basket catch, out number 1. Nice job. One up and one down. Cheeseball digging in. Starting catcher for the Trojans and leadoff hitter, singled and scored back in the first. 1 ball and no strikes. Inside 2-0. Look at Cochran up close, the starting pitcher here today for the Phillies. Two-0 pitch. And Nipsey inside corner with a strike. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the second inning. 4-3 Trojans over the Phillies. The Phillies are in the field, all white uniforms. And here's a ball slapped down the third. Geiger's up with it. Nice job. Solid throw. Nope, he threw it away. That drew Dreyfus off the first base bag, and that'll be an error on the third baseman. Now Andy Felt, Lucky Charms Andy Felt. Starting pitcher today for SoCal. Gave up 3 runs in the first and struck out 2. Runner goes, and let's see if they have a play down there, and goodbye. Well, I'll tell you, Denome has really been putting on a catcher's clinic here today. So now Andy Felt bats with 2 out and nobody on. Thanks to Troy Denome, and an outstanding throw at second base to gun down the would-be base stealer. Cochran needs a strike right here, and he's going to get it. Right-hander kicks and deals, and it is hit towards the shortstop. Tough hop. Nice play. Long throw. Dreyfus makes the play, and that'll retire the side. So Padilla with a nice play at shortstop, and we are heading to the home half of inning number 2. And the Phillies still trail at 4-3. This is APNvideo.com. Troy Denome will start it off here, the catcher for the Phillies, and a chance to get things tied up. Down by 1 run here, 4-3, as we go to the home half of inning number 2. Back here at Goodyear Baseball Park. First time up for Troy. And the count is even at 1 strike on the backstop for the East Coast Phillies. Got those dreaded shadows coming into the ballpark, and it'll probably engulf the infield here in the next half hour or 40 minutes. He had a good cut at that pitch. "4-3 Trojans, bottom half of the second, and that pitch is grounded foul. The right-hander looks in for the sign, and now the payoff pitch is popped up. Catcher giving chase, and really no chance. Good hustle by the SoCal catcher. Now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. And this one just foul down the third base line. Just foul. The 2-strike pitch, and that's out of play. Well, Troy really battling out there, no question about it, against the right-hander Andy Felt. Another 2-strike pitch from Andy Felt. Outside, ball 4. So a good start for the Phillies, who trail by 1, 4-3 here in the bottom of the second inning. And now Cochran, today's starting pitcher today for Mike Dreyfus. So now Rich Cochran. Outside, ball 1. And this is going to be trouble. The third baseman, and Michael's got it, and in time at first base. Well, that is the second outstanding play by Alosi down at the hot corner. We got a little impersonation and a little singing in the pregame. So Dano moves up into scoring position and represents the tying run for the Phillies here in the second inning. First pitch is a strike at the letters. So now Tom Lawrenson. There goes the runner, and he is going to be in there. And it's a good thing he went, because there is no way he would have advanced on a comebacker like that. That'll bring up Ed Pinion. He was a 10B hitter in that first game of this doubleheader, as the Trojans and the Phillies battle here from Goodyear Ballpark. Vasquez to follow, and then the Game 1 starter, or not starter, but the Game 1 reliever who came in the first inning and went on to pitch 8 2/3 innings. Ken Friedrich is the final hitter in the batting order here, but we got 2 out and a runner at third base. Ooh, that had to hurt. Well, the Trojans have just given the home plate umpire a rousing ovation, as that ball, I think, foul-tipped him right into the old breadbasket. And that'll wake you up. Runner at third with 2 out. Here in the bottom of the second inning, and here's Pinion and the pitch, and it's just off the outside part of the plate. First time up for Ed Pinion. Yeah, that's going to be out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With the tying run at third, 2 out. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Ed Pinion as Andy Felt winds, kicks, and fires, and it's outside, and it's a full count. Now the payoff pitch. And strike 3 called, and the side is retired. And they'll just go ahead and tag the hitter. He wanted an appeal by the base umpire. He's not going to get it, and the side is retired. So we've got 2 in the books here from Goodyear Baseball Park. And we got a good one. 4-3 Trojans. Back in a moment. All right, Bruce, we'll lead things off here. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. Trojans leading it by a score of 4-3. He had a 2-run double in that 4-run first. As he bats for the 2nd time, and he grounds one just foul down the first base line. 84 degrees, our game time temperature here on this November 3rd. 1 for 1 at the plate and the pitch. And he chops that one foul. He's pretty much a pull hitter. Just a reminder that we do produce the Marucci Big Play of the Day. If there's a worthy play in this game, go to the Daily News. Or you can, better yet, check out, as this one's grounded foul again. You can find the Marucci Big Play of the Day at MSBLnational.com. And Marucci is located throughout the World Series on the left field concourse at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Marucci, honor the game. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bruce. Third inning of work for Mr. Cochran as he delivers. And here's a ball slapped to the right side where the second baseman gobbles it up and throws him out at first base. 1 down. So Vasquez with the routine play at second base. Michael has played some tremendous defense at third base in this game. He's made 2 outstanding plays, and he had a base hit his first time up. Singleton scored in the 4-run first inning for the Trojans. They bat here in the top of the 3rd inning. A slow-moving game, though. And pulled the hands in and pops it up. Vasquez back a second, and he's got it 2 down. Well, there's the All-State Award right there for Vasquez, the sure-handed person. So there's 2 down here in the top of the 3rd inning. And now Stephen Ganai, the starting shortstop here for the Trojans. 2 out, nobody on, top of the 3rd. Trojans lead 4-3. The 0-1. Chopped to the left side, and that's going to get through, a base hit. So Ganai is aboard, and that will extend the inning for Nicholson. And we'll get a courtesy runner to come out. We'll give you that name here momentarily. That's the 6th hit of the day. Courtesy runner is going to be Losi. And the batter is going to be center fielder Jim Nicholson. 2 out runner at first, and that one way outside, ball 1. There goes the runner. Here's the throwdown and a close play, but Michael is ahead of the tag. Stolen base for the Trojans, and a big insurance run out there right now. Trojans need to get a run in here. Pick up that insurance run. A ground ball down to 3rd. It's knocked down. I don't know if they're going to have a play anywhere. So that'll be the 2nd error of the day for the Phillies' 3rd baseman, and runners are at 1st and 2nd with 2 out. That's the 3rd error issued by the Phillies in this game. 2 out and 2 on, and the batter is going to be the milkman David Hance, the manager, the interim manager, acting manager, as their leader. Terrence had an IRS audit earlier today and couldn't make the game. That's outside a ball. Thing about David Hance, I mean, this is a guy, you keep pitching him out there, he's going to go to right field with it. Just low. Batting tips sponsored by the Jeff Lowry School of Hitting. www.400average.com. Guaranteed. Here's a drive, deep left field. That ball's hit well. It's foul. And Mike Dreyfus out there. Thank you. Cochran trying to work out of a first and second jam, and that ball hit him. So now the bases are loaded. It was an easy inning. The first two were retired quite easily, and now they're loaded. Second walk issued by Cochran. 2 out. And the bases are loaded, and the batter is going to be Gil Prado. Bouncing ball back to the mound, and it was knocked down by the pitcher, and the throw to second in time. A 1-6-4 put out. And that was a nice play by Padilla at shortstop. That was not an easy play on the deflected ground ball, and the side is retired. So the Trojans leave 3, bottom half of the third inning coming up here. It's still 4-3 Trojans on APN. Andy Felt now in his third inning of work as we go to the top of the third inning. And Vasquez batting for the first time. And the first pitch is wide, ball 1. That one is skied out in the left field, and that's going to drop him for a base hit. Good try by the milkman, but he came up short. Nice effort. Okay, I'm going to get this right. This is the bottom half of the third inning, and it's 4-3 SoCal. So a leadoff single for Vasquez. You know, the funny thing is I sat there and wrote it down and then said something different. That's a bunt, and that's going to be a foul ball. Phillies just want to tie this thing up. Apparently, they're willing to play a little small ball here. Ken Friedrich, the batter, so he's down 0-1, and you probably recognize him from the Geico commercials from a few years ago, and he made a ton of money, and now he's playing baseball here in Arizona. He bunts this one, and now 0-2 on the final hitter in the lineup here for Mike Dreyfus and his East Coast Phillies. No balls and 2 strikes. Andy Felt delivering. Struck him out swinging. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt, and that's the first out here in the home half of inning number 3. 4th strikeout for Andy. 1 down here in the bottom half of the third. Back to the top of the Phillies lineup with a runner at first and 1 out, and John Quiros, and that one got behind him. It gets away from the catcher, and now the tying run is in scoring position at second base. John has had 3 hits in a row if you go back to the game against the Puget Sound Twins. He led off the home half of the first inning with a base hit and came around to score. Takes upstairs for a ball. Andy Felt to John Quiros. Strike called, 2-1. A wide shot at Goodyear Baseball Park, runner at second. Only 1 man out. You got your leadoff hitter aboard, and he's been red hot of late. And this one is popped up. That's going to be out of play. This is a very important out here for Andy Felt, because after John bats, you're starting to get into the heart of the Phillies lineup, and that one hit right off the knob of the bat. So a break there for John. Of course, he might take the hit batsman at this point. Second game of a doubleheader for the East Coast Phillies, and they have not led as of yet, nor have they been tied after losing big to the Puget Sound Twins, who are the defending champions. And that ball, unable to hold on to it, is the catcher, Diamante, and Dave kind of gives Quiroz new life here. Runner at second, one out. 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter, and that is strike 3 called. 5th strikeout for Andy. All right, so now 2 down, and let's see if Dreyfus can come through with a game-tying base hit here. 2 out, runner at second. Phillies at the plate, trailing 4-3. And a hard-hit ground ball foul. We saw a lot of that out of Michael this entire day. You know, and I think the way he has been swinging the bat, that he is really due to break out. The Trojans aren't hoping so, but the Phillies certainly are, and Dreyfus is down, no balls and 1 strike here at Goodyear. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Andy fell to Michael Dreyfus. Popped him up. This could be trouble. High sky, the sun. He's not going to get it. And the throw to first, and not in time. So Michael's got a base hit to extend the inning, and he represents the go-ahead run now for the Phillies. 4 hits in total now for the Phillies, and that's why, you know, sometimes I'm critical of the major league players today because there are so many strikeouts. As Dreyfus takes off for second base, and they're going to throw down there. Now, you got to understand right now, this time of day, that sun is right over the back of our heads, back of the concourse, and pretty soon, any toss even from the catcher is going to become treacherous for the pitcher and sometimes the middle infielder, especially the right side of the infield. 0-2, the count on Geiger. Geiger struck out back in the first inning. He's got second and third, the go-ahead run at second base in Dreyfus. Got the tying run at third. And a bouncing ball right side. He stays down on it, and the left-handed throwing second baseman takes care of business. So a nice job by Gil Prado. And as we go to the 4th inning from Goodyear Ballpark, it's still Trojans 4 and the Phillies 3. Mark Katz will start things off. We go to the top of the 4th inning back here at Goodyear Baseball Park. And first pitch swinging, a soft pop-up on the infield. And Geiger comes up throwing and threw it away. Well, he went. If they had somebody on the bag, they could have actually tagged him out. But that was not the case, and that's going to be, I think that's got to be a leadoff single. I don't think Geiger had much of a chance to get him. So Mark is 1 for 2. 7th hit of the day for the Southern California Trojans. And here's Henry batting for the second time. Cass Meyer. Outside, ball 1. Oh, strike called. Well, my strike zone is way off today, so I apologize to our home plate umpire. And strike 2 called. I'll tell you what, if I'm Cochran, I'm just staying out there. I may go out maybe another ball length and see if I can get this hitter to fish. 0-2, the count. And a ground ball towards the hole and in the left field. So the first 2 have reached for the Trojans here in the 4th inning. So hit number 8 for SoCal. First and second with nobody out. And we go back to the top of the lineup here in the top of the fourth inning. And Diamante swinging, and an infield fly rule. Geiger is under it, and he's got it. Now the starting pitcher for the Trojans, Andy Felt. Andy batting for the third time, reached on an error and is grounded to shortstop. First and second, now one out in the top of the fourth inning, and he goes after the first pitch and skies it to Dreyfus, and now they may have a play at second. They got him, double play. How about that? An 8-6 double play, and that'll retire the side. Heads-up play by Dreyfus in center field. Well, that's not Dreyfus. Is it? That is him. He just looks better looking on television. Damian Padilla will start things off. We go to the home half of the fourth inning as the Phillies have had ample opportunities to tie or even take the lead here, and they still trail 4-3. So now the cleanup hitter, Padilla. This is the fourth inning of work for starter Andy Felt. And outside of a shaky first for both starting pitchers, they have both settled down very well. Andy with 2 back-to-back scoreless innings. Cochran has 3 consecutive scoreless innings for the Phillies. Wow. I mean, really, I mean, if I am a pitcher in this game, I am throwing that pitch 70% of the time. I mean, you got to mix it up a little bit, but if you're going to get that called strike, you got to keep going out there. That's the well. And Padilla knows that he could be rung up at any time, even if that pitch is a little off the plate. Andy Felt, and he hit the batter. Man. So now the fifth place hitter, Eric Cuja. Padilla represents a tying run at first base. That's in there for a called strike. Eric grounded out to third base back in the first inning when the Phillies got 3 runs to draw within 1 at 4-3. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Well, our trivia question, and we may have a couple here just to kind of fill some of the spots here. Can you name the first Major League Baseball player to win the Rookie of the Year award? And if I'm not mistaken, I think back then maybe they only gave 1 award out. Let's see if they have one for both leagues. Yeah, I think they only did that. They did that with the Cy Young for quite a while. They did it. I don't have the dates in front of me. The first year that they had a Cy Young from both leagues was actually 1967. So it was better than 10 years that they awarded just 1 Cy Young for both leagues, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's the way they did it back then. That's another trivia question. Who were the 2 Cy Young Award winners that year as the curve is fouled off at the plate? I think it was Jim McCormick of the Giants, and I think it was Blackjack McDowell, Sam McDowell. But don't quote me on that. Scattered that one. High throw goes out in the center field, and the Phillies are in business. Well, that was a close play. Geiger got down there quickly, and now he's down and writhing in pain, and we'll see if he's going to be all right. So now Tom Bonelli with runners at first and second, and yet another opportunity for the Phillies to tie this thing up. Runner at second, runner at first, nobody out. It wasn't Sam McDowell, no. as this one has popped up. Infield fly rule for Michael at third, and he makes the play for the first out of the inning. Boy, that's a big out right there for the Trojans, trying to protect a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. So one down in the inning. That'll bring up Perez for the second time, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. This is Jim Longborg and McCormick. That was the year the Boston Red Sox went to the World Series. Yastrzemski had the Triple Crown. So Perez, a strikeout victim, his first time up. He's up there with first and second, and just one out here with a tying run at second. And it's outside corner, a called strike, and 2 strikes on Perez. 2 strikes in pitching on Perez. And he lifts a fly ball out into center field, medium depth, and it's going to be caught. Runner is tagging. Here comes a throw to third, and not in time. Geiger with good speed gets down there, and runners are at first and third. That was not a routine play for Jim Nicholson, especially with the high sky and that bright sun. The Gnome had a base hit his last time up, or I should say his first time up. So now first and third, 2 out. Geiger represents the tying run for the Phillies here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Outside a ball. So again, our trivia question, can you name the first ever Rookie of the Year? Troy actually walked his first time up. Andy Kelt trying to work out of this jam, and he has lived up to his Lucky Charms name because he has been able to get out of jams in both the second and third inning, and hoping to do more of that here in the fourth. Pitch to Troy. Outside. Two balls and 1 strike on the Phillies backstop. And a wave and a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, he's a strike and an out away from getting out of this first and third 2-out jam. The 2-2 pitch with 2 outs. Chopper left side, and it's a base hit, and this game is tied. Troy comes through with a clutch 2-out RBI single, and it's 4-4. So the starting pitcher, Cochran, digs in. Rich is 0 for 1. He was robbed on a nice play by Michael down at third base on a good backhanded play. And he's ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes, as the opposing catcher, Cheeseballs, was instructing the outfield to come way in on Cochran, and it made everybody laugh. That's a swing and a miss. Well, one of the hints on that trivia question, he's probably one of the top 5 most beloved characters in baseball history. I would safe to say. Maybe some people would even say maybe the most beloved person in the history of Major League Baseball. And he played for a National League team. In fact, he's played for the team that has had the most Rookies of the Year award winners down through the years, by far. First all-time Rookie of the Year is our trivia question here in the bottom of the fourth. We'll give you the answer here in about an inning. And the umpire got it again. That one rattled the cage. That one didn't hurt as much as the first one, when we had a 2-minute and 59-second delay. All right, Cochran's got the go-ahead run at second base here, bottom of the fourth inning. And he has come through with a big base hit out into center field, and they're going to wave around the runner. And here comes the throw, and it's not going to be in time. And the Phillies have their first lead of the day, 5-4 over the Trojans. Kuja scores from third on the go-ahead RBI single by Cochran. Now Lawrenson played a very good center field in game number one. First and second, 5-4 lead here for the Phillies. It's been a long inning for Andy Felt and that defense. As strike two called on Rich check that. Lawrenson. Tom Lawrenson. 2 men out. Ready with the next offering, and it is outside, and it's 1-2. Might be 2-2, excuse me. Bottom of the fourth inning. He struck him out swinging to retire the side. We're heading to the fifth. In a new ball game, the Phillies get 2 and take a 5-4 lead. This is the 34th annual MSBL World Series on APM Video Sports. Heading now to the top of the fifth inning. We're back here from Goodyear Baseball Park. Pardon the shadows here, but not a whole lot we can do about it as Cochran goes out, and he has been staked to the Phillies' first lead of the day if you count the first game of the doubleheader. Bruce Hirota will begin things off for the SoCal Trojans, and he skies one to the second baseman, and a nice play by Vasquez, one down. So 1 up and 1 down, and here's Michael batting for the third time. He had a base hit and a run scored back in the first, and this one hit to Vasquez. He's having trouble with it, but he hauls it in. I'll tell you what, that's almost a Marucci play of the day. Just the sun out here. I've seen major league players on a pretty regular basis have trouble with fly balls, especially in spring training. So you can't feel too bad. 2 down. Garay will bat. Stephen Garay. In there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Top of the fifth inning, the Phillies lead it 5-4 over the SoCal Trojans, as one of these teams may very well win their first game in this 45 and over Cactus division. Our trivia question again, can you name the first ever Rookie of the Year award winner? And, you know, the question almost goes with one of the teams that are playing on the field, because this guy actually played for the University of Southern California Trojans as a multi-sport athlete. That is a swing and a miss, and what a strong inning for the Phillies. They've got the momentum as we go to the home half of the fifth, and they lead it by a score of 5-4. So we got a new pitcher on the mound here for the Trojans. Michael Alosi moves over from third base. And we've got a couple of changes defensively for the Trojans. So Andy Felt goes 4 innings, 6 hits, gives up 5 runs, strikes out 6 in those 4 innings. And right now he's the pitcher of record. Gil Prado, who has already played second base in this game, he's a left-handed thrower, is now catching. And Ed Pinion will be the first batter that Michael faces, and he induces him into a ground ball to second, and a nice job by the first baseman as Bruce had to scoop that one out, 1 up and 1 down. So speaking of the Devil, Andy Felt now goes from pitcher to second base, and guess what? They hit the first ball right at him. So a 4-3 ground out starts the bottom half of the 5th inning with the Phillies leading it 5-4. Vasquez batting for the second time. Had a base hit his only time up, and he takes a strike, and that evens the count on the right-handed hitting second baseman at 1 ball and 1 strike. Michael goes into the line. Two down. Nice job by the left-handed catcher. Had to bring up Friedrich. Mark the Bird Friedrich. No, this is Friedrich. Now this is Ken, and Ken was a strikeout victim back in his first and only at bat. He's up there, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th, in a 5-4 game, and we've been treated to a nice little competition here this afternoon from Goodyear Ballpark. And our friends over to our left of our broadcast area are just completely baffled with that trivia question. And they're just going to kick themselves when I tell them the answer. Bottom of the 5th, 5-4 in favor of the Phillies. And chopping ball down to third, and that one's going to be, should be a routine play, and it is not. I don't know what happened there. Almost looked like the throw was right on target, but Bruce just seemed to lose sight of it. Well, for some reason, they want the baseball. They've asked the umpire to keep the baseball and throw it into the dugout. So I'm not sure who you would charge the error on that play. Stephen Garay or the first baseman, Bruce Hirota. I think Bruce just flat out missed it. So now you got a runner at second base. And here's a ball hit down the left field line, and it's just foul. Johnny Singleton scored his first time up and struck out back in the 3rd inning, and he's 1 for 2. Got a chance to drive in an insurance run here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one is in the dirt, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike on John Quiroz. Outfield playing him the pull and guarding the line a bit in left field, and there is an absolutely monstrous, and we'll show you right here. Look how big that hole is out there, the gap between the center fielder and the right fielder. And he slaps one to the right side, and that one's going to be gobbled up by Andy, and he'll throw him out to retire the side. So a good job there. Good pitching by Michael in his first inning, and at the end of 5 from Goodyear, it's 5-4 Phillies over the Trojans. Top half of the 6th inning here, as Nicholson will be the first batter up here for Southern Cal, and they trail it by a score of 5-4. Cochran is still out there, and he's pitched a nice game. Got into a lot of hot water in that top of the 1st inning. Phillies gave up 4 runs in that inning, but he's really settled down. He's thrown 4 shutout innings, and he's going to continue to roll as long as swings at pitches that are out of the strike zone like that are taken by this Trojan offense. Chopping ball up the middle, and this is going to find center field. That's a base hit. And the tying run is on to lead things off top of the 6th inning for the Trojans. It's been a couple of innings since the Trojans, as they throw this one away, gets by the first baseman. Here comes a throw down to second, and the runner kicks the ball out into left center field. Well, a good job of backing up by John. So now the manager, the milkman, David Hance, and the first pitch, ball 1. David, an RBI single in the 4-run first, and then he drew a walk his last time up. The interim manager for Southern California as he takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Lifted in the air, shallow center field, and John is under, and he's got it. He didn't seem to have any trouble with that high sky or the bright sun right behind the concourse area and the stadium, Goodyear Ballpark. Yeah, a good look at the outstanding defensive player. He had the Marucci play of the game in our last game. So with one out, runner is still at second base, and the batter is going to be Gil Prado. So David Hance now 1 for 3 on the day. Prado single RBI in the first and bounced into a 1-6-3 fielder's choice. Ground ball, diving play at third, and no play at first base as Prado gets down the line pretty quickly. All hands are safe, and now with the tying run at third, you got the go-ahead run at first. So 10 hits in total now for the Trojans. Infield will be playing double play depth at shortstop, but guarding the hole at second. And the first pitch is in there, but it's taken for a ball by Mark Katz. In there for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes with the tying run 90 feet away at third base for the Southern Cal Trojans. Swing and a miss. Pretty good pitch there by Cochran. That ball was tailing. It looked kind of like it was going to kind of aim for the outer part of the plate, and it just kept kind of biting away from that left-handed hitter. A lot of movement on that pitch. That is a strike called. Cochran kind of revving it up here. The pitcher. Runners are at first and second. And he dropped the ball, and now the runner is at third base 90 feet away. So 1 out. Now runners are at second and third, And here's a line drive, base hit in the right field. 1 run is in to tie it. Here comes the second run home. The throw comes in, gets away from the cutoff man. And Mark Katz comes through with a clutch single with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning, and we're tied at 5. That is the 11th hit of the day for the Trojans, and the first pitch called strike. Kazmaier up there for the 3rd time. He had a single his last time up. So 3 hits, 1 run in the inning. Two strikes now on the final hitter in the order for David Hance's Southern California Trojans. Cochran on the mound, Rome catching and pitching, and it's outside. Tried to get him to fish for that one. Denome did an outstanding job catching in that first game, and they gave up 24 runs. There was a lot of pitches in the dirt, and for the most part, I mean, he stopped a huge majority of those pitches. Ground ball shortstop. They need an out here, and they're going to get it. And the throw to first is a little wide, and the Trojans have regained the lead on the ground ball. Scoring on the play is Gil Prado, and he'll get a few high fives, so it's a 2-run inning, and the Trojans lead 6-5. Back to the top of the order, and Dave Diamante. And he swings and gets under this one and skies it to left field, and the catch is made and the side is retired. But the Trojans get 2 and regain the lead from Goodyear Baseball Park, and they lead it 6-5 on APN. Michael Dreyfus will start things off as we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Halasi in his 2nd inning of work, and he will bring it plateward, and it's called strike. Not too sure about this strike zone here today. And like I said in the first game of this doubleheader, I mean, if you're a pitcher and you're going to get that pitch, it would behoove you to spend most of the time out there. And this one is grounded hard down to third, and a nice job of gobbling that one up, and a nice job by Bruce staying on the bag, 1 down. So Steven getting the job done down at the hot corner for the Trojans. 1 up and 1 down for the Phillies. And now Geiger batting for the 3rd time, and he swings and wallops one into deep left field. No one's going to get to that one. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Here's Geiger on his horse. He's a little bit lame because he had an injury, but he is booking for 3rd. Here's the relay, and he's in, head first sliding, safe. And he represents the tying run as he takes a breather at 3rd base. So now Padilla comes to the plate with a chance to tie this thing up. 7 hits in total now for the East Coast Phillies. We've got the East Coast Phillies. We've got the Southern California Trojans. That was outside ball 1. Padilla has scored 2 runs. He singled and drove in a run back in the 1st inning. 6-5 Trojans. Of course, the USC Trojans, a program, they've won more Division I national championships than any other college in the country. That one is chopped foul. And this one is through the first baseman. A base hit down the right field line, and just like that, the Phillies have tied the game up at 6 runs apiece. Padilla has been on base all 3 times, his 2nd hit in 2 tries, his 2nd RBI, and he has produced 4 runs in the game. Now Cuja. So the manager of the Phillies, Michael Dreyfus, is now the courtesy runner you saw just a moment ago, and Cuja at the plate. He reached on an error and scored his last time. And now Dreyfus, let's see if, of course, he's the manager. I wonder if he's going to take off on maybe the 1st or 2nd offering to Cuja, or they play a little hit and run here. I think you got to get the runners in motion here. It's 6-6 tie, and there he goes. And that's a straight steal for Michael Dreyfus. And a special thank to Michael for setting up today's broadcast. He thought about taking 3rd. Ground ball down to 3rd. And now they throw that way, and they throw it away. Dreyfus taps a bag. He heads to 3rd. That'll be a fielder's choice and an error. And he'll stay right there. All right, let's see what Tom can do. So Ed Pinion, courtesy running at first base. And now Bonelli, and he goes, and a strike. So the go-ahead run is at 3rd base. Second and 3rd. Second and 3rd and 1 out. A 1-out triple, the big hit in this inning, and that's grounded foul. The previous play, and not to come down on Ganai, but, you got to make sure, even if it means as this one is lined into left field, dropping for a hit, Nice play by the left fielder, Barehand, and the run will score. In Pinion, 2 runs come in, and it's now 8-6 Phillies. So now Perez will dig in, and I was just getting ready to say, I mean, you got to make sure you get 1 out. Even if it means giving up a run, you want to stay out of those big innings if possible. Here's a ground ball, base hit in the right field, and it gets by the right fielder. So both runners will move up to second and third, and Perez has a base hit in an 8-6 ball game, and it's been a big inning. 3 runs for the East Coast Phillies. So East Coast has strung together 2 consecutive hits. They have scored 3 times here in the inning. And Denome, the catcher, will bat again. This is the 3rd time for him. He walked back his first time up. That was in the 2nd inning, and had an RBI single his last time up. Michael Alosi into the wind, and did he go? The umpire says yes, he did. Line drive, left field. It's hook and foul. Ready with the next offering, and it is taken in the dirt. Boy, this has become a very long inning for the defense of the Trojans. 4 hits, an error, and a line drive just foul third base side, and Denome will dig back in. Had 3 lead changes in this game. It was 4-3 SoCal at the end of 1 inning of play. Phillies came back with 2 in the 4th to take a 5-4 lead, and that's strike 3 called. Good pitch. So 2 down in the inning, and the first strikeout of the day for Michael Alosi. 2 down, and here is Rich Cochran, the starting pitcher today for the Phillies. And right now would be the winning pitcher in this game if this 2-run lead holds up. Well, the Trojans got 2 runs in the top of this 6th inning to regain the lead at 5-4, but a 3-run or a 6-5, I should say. But then they've watched the Phillies battle back, the fighting Phillies, with 3 runs here, and they lead at 8-6. And a ball hit down to third. He'll step on the bag, which doesn't matter. He'll throw to first. What a play at first base. I can't believe it. Did he barehand that ball? Did you barehand that thing? You know, that's really Ohtani. And the game is under protest. No. Well, they get 3 runs in the inning, and when we come back from Goodyear, Phillies 8, Trojans 6. Seventh inning of work for starting pitcher Rich Cochran. As he makes his final warm-up tosses, we're heading to the top of the 7th inning. Denome has caught all 15 innings here today for the East Coast Phillies. So hang a star next to this young man's name. And speaking of starting pitchers, here's the starting pitcher who went the front 4. And actually, if the score... Well, I'm wrong. I was going to say he is still the pitcher of record, but that would actually be Michael Alosi, who gave up the lead in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So we go to the top of the 7th inning. It is 8-6 Phillies, and a chopping ball over the mound, and this is going to be trouble. That's an infield hit. So a leadoff single for Andy Felt, his first hit of the day. And that was a base hit. And now Bruce batting for the fourth time. 2-run double his first time up, but he is 0 for 2 since then. So the Trojans trail it here 8-6. We're in the top of the 7th inning. And here's a base hit in the left field. So much for him being a total pull hitter. So Bruce has his second hit of the day, and he's 2 for 4. And Al, the tying run at first and the go-ahead run at the plate. Here's Michael for the fourth time, and he nearly got hit by that first offering by Cochran. And one more game left in this tournament. Well, somebody just kicked our tripod. Two and nothing to count. And right now I think Michael Dreyfus may want to get somebody up and loosening in the bullpen just because of the amount of pitches that Cochran, and he kind of labored in that first inning, but he's pitched well since. But he's thrown a lot of pitches, well over 100 so far, and comes back with a strike on Michael Alossi, the cleanup hitter who has singled and popped out to the second baseman back-to-back times. Fourth time up, 1 for 3. First and second, nobody out. Phillies clinging to an 8-6 lead, and that is called ball 3. 3-1 on Michael, who started the game over at third base. Top of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch. And a line drive. And the second baseman can't make a play. I don't even know if he saw the ball. And they're going to hold the runners at first, second, and third. Now the ball gets away, and well, fortunately the third baseman was paying attention over there. Now Gunai, the third baseman. And now all of a sudden that pitch is not a strike. Okay, we got the bases loaded, nobody out. A possible big inning here for the Trojans. Ground ball to the first baseman. You got to get an out. No one covering. Yep, there is, and he drops the ball and then gets annihilated by the runner. So there'll be an error on the first baseman, an RBI, and it's 8-7, and Cochran seems to be okay, though probably a little rattled. So Andy Felt scores. You saw the manager of the Trojans frantically running towards the dugout because he's the on-deck hitter. Jim Nicholson takes inside ball 1. He had a base hit his last time up. Scored a run, 1 for 3. And this one's hammered, and that one's sailing a soaring drive over the left fielder's head. This is going to score all 3 runs, and the Trojans have regained the lead on a 3-run double by Jim Nicholson, and they lead at 10-8. Well, he climbed all over that pitch and sent that ball a good 300 feet plus in the air. So we got a new pitcher on the mound, and we'll tell you about him when we return in just a moment. This is the 34th annual Men's Senior Baseball League. This is the first time that Perez has pitched here today, and he will inherit a runner at second base. 4 runs have come across here for the Trojans, and we've had our 4th lead change of the ball game. All right. Okay, so now Perez sets his sights on the manager, the acting manager, David Hance, better known as the Milkman. And he skies this one as Geiger is calling for it, and he'll make the catch. So it's 10-8 here. Phillies now find themselves in a 2-run hole. Only the first out of this top of the 7th inning, and now Gil Prado. Strike 1 called. Gil has an RBI single. He has a single and a run scored. He's 2 for 3. Perez delivers inside, and it's 1-1. Well, that's going to skip away from the catcher, and now the runner will go to third. Well, the sights and sounds of a baseball park as this one's grounded back to Perez. Now the second baseman fields and throws to first and out. What a scoop by Dreyfus. The run will score. And it's 11-8 now as Dreyfus may have saved another run. Now Mark Katz. I think it's 10. I think now it is 10-8. We'll have to get a little verification there as Katz ducks out of the way of that big breaking pitch by Perez. So nobody on with 2 out. He was quite animated in our pregame show. Mark Katz said, we're going to come out and kick some you-know-what, and, well, they put up some runs in this game, but he goes after a nasty pitch, and that will retire the side. New pitcher is going to be Steve Garay, and he is the third pitcher used here today by the Trojans. They do lead it by a score of 11-8 as they scored 5 times in the top half of the 7th inning. Lawrenson looking for his first hit as we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning, and he's first pitch swinging, base hit left field. Good start here for the Phils. So Tom with his first hit of the ball game, he's at first base, down by 3. We've had 4 lead changes. And now Pinion will come to the plate. Hit number 11 with the runner going, and now the throw down, not in time. Stolen base for Tom. Okay, here's the answer to that trivia question. Who was the first Rookie of the Year in Major League Baseball history? First the pitch. And a chopping ball up the middle. This is going to find center field. Here comes the runner around third. Here comes the throw home. It will be cut off, and it's a 2-run deficit as the Phillies drive in a run here on a base hit by Ed Pinion, and it's now 11-9. And some good base running there as Ed takes second on the throw to the plate. We'll now bring up Vasquez. 1 for 2, and he takes a big, mighty swing and comes up empty-handed. He became the first African-American player in the history of baseball. He attended the University of Southern California as this one's lined to the shortstop, and now they got the runner hung up at third, and they're going to make the tag. So that'll be the first out. A nice job by our starting catcher for the Trojans. And we've got a Kurt Schilling sighting right now and a very bloody pants for Michael Alasi. And I'm wondering if they're going to make him come out of the ball game. They only have 10 players. So they're already playing shorthanded, but you can see, I mean, he may have to tend to that. I mean, that pant leg is really bloody. So, yeah. And look who's coming out. He'll get a round of applause as he fixes up the bloody ankle. So now Ken Friedrich will bat with a runner at first and 1 out. And a chopper up the middle. It's fielded by the shortstop. He'll step on the bag for 1 and throw on to first, and another double play in this ball game. So Diamante unassisted at second, throws to first, 6-3 inning-ending double play. Second inning of work for the left-hander Perez, and he will be facing the final hitter in the lineup, Henry Kazmaier. Kazmaier, 1 for 3. And welcome back to Goodyear Baseball Park, the winter home of the Reds and the Indians. On a beautiful day for baseball, temperature 85 degrees, and not a cloud in the sky as the left-hander winds and delivers, and Kazmaier takes outside for ball 1. He's 1 for 3. He's popped the third, singled and hit into a fielder's choice. Too high, and it's 2-0. Well, we've seen a lot of action in this second game, doubleheader action for both teams. Both teams had an earlier game, and one of them we had here on APN, and that was the morning game here, the 10 a.m. start time here at Goodyear. Ball 4. Walked him on 4 pitches. 11-9 is the score in favor of the Trojans as they bat in the top of the 8th. They've started the game behind the dish, now playing shortstop. So Perez walks the leadoff hitter, Kazmaier, on 4 straight pitches, and comes right after him and low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Jackie Roosevelt Robinson, the answer to our trivia question. One ball and no strikes. Chopped to Vasquez. Get 1 at least, and good hard slide over there at second base by Henry. So Dave now 1 for 5, and that's going to bring up the starting pitcher, Andy Felt. So Felt is 1 for 4 as Perez gets set to deliver his first offering to him with a runner at first and 1 man out, and the first pitch is a curve in the dirt, ball 1. And Denome does it again behind home plate. That's the kind of job that he has done all day long. He's in his 17th inning as the catcher with no break. So a tip of the cap to him, and as this one's chopped up the first base line, it's going to come back fair. Yeah, and the throw to first, and a nice barehanded play by Michael at first base. There is probably no way Michael makes that play unless he barehands it, and there's 2 down. Well, here's Bruce Hirota for the 5th time. He's 2 for 4. He had a base hit his last time up. And in the first inning, when they scored 4 times, he drove a long double to right field that plated 2 runs for the Trojans. They lead at 11-9 with a runner at second, and the curveball is high. So 1 ball and no strikes on Bruce Hirota. And it's 2-0. While I was looking up some of those trivia questions, I noticed that there was a couple in there that were very interesting, and we were talking about in Game 1, Roger Maris. That's a strike, 2-1. Roger Maris, in the year that he broke Babe Ruth's single-season home run record, was never intentionally walked. The other one is there has only been 1 player in baseball history as Hirota awaits the 2-1, and that one bounces up there, and heading to third is the runner. Only 1 player in baseball history has a walk-off inside the park grand slam home run. One of the great defensive outfielders, a Hall of Famer, and many think a hero as Hirota walks, and he's on base for the 3rd time in 5 tries. Now Michael Alosi, who had to leave the game momentarily to repair kind of a nasty cut on that ankle, the right ankle, after a collision with Geiger at third base. So the guy the only player in baseball history with an inside the park walk-off home run is Roberto Clemente. That's a strike at the letters, and it's 0-1. Second inning of work for Mr. Perez. He delivers the 0-1 pitch, and it's too high. 1 ball, 1 strike on the starting third baseman. A ball and a strike to Michael. First and third occupied, and the pitch is way inside, 2-1. Good pitch. Had a little something on that last pitch, Perez. The 2-2 pitch coming up now, and here it is. And it's way inside. Actually, 3-2 pitch, and it's ball 4. Outs and the bases are loaded, and now the batter is going to be Garay. Steven has walked and scored a run. He has a single, a stolen base as he's taken a strike all the way. He has struck out. He reached on an error and was credited with an RBI, his first of the day. So he is technically 1 for 3, a walk, a run, and a run batted in. Bases loaded, 2 out. Upstairs. And right now he's the current pitcher for the Trojans, but he's played kind of all over the place. Third and shortstop, and now pitcher. That one skips away, and another run will score for the Trojans. That one goes into the dugout, and 2 runs are they going to send him back? Yeah. I thought I heard the umpire give him the base. So he'll stay at third. Runners are at second and third with 2 out, and it's 12-9 Trojans here in the top of the 8th inning. And we're coming up on that 3-hour time limit. Curve and a bouncing ball down to third. Geiger, yes, and the throw on to retire the side. Nice play by the Phillies third baseman. But they get an insurance run, and this will be the final half inning. Win, lose, or tie, it's 12-9 in favor of the Southern California Trojans. First up for the Phillies, they have last at bat. We are approaching the 3-hour threshold. Well, if it's a quick inning, I mean, they've got 8-9 minutes left to go. They could get this inning in easily. That's ball 1 to Quiros. Leadoff hitter. Base hit and a run scored in the first, but he struck out and grounded to second the last 2 times. Bottom half of the 8th inning. I think I spoke a little premature that this is definitely the last half inning. And a called strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike on John Quiros, with Dreyfus and Geiger to follow here. Two and 1 the count. Jeff Lowry coming to you from Goodyear Ballpark. It opened up in 2009, and well, we've had a pretty good ball game here, but right now the Trojans lead by 3 with nobody on and nobody out here, and 3 balls on the leadoff hitter. And the last thing the Trojans want to do is start walking people, and 1 pitch away from putting the leadoff hitter aboard here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Felt went 4 innings for the Trojans. Olosi went 2. And strike 2 called, full count. And the second inning of work for the right-hander Steven Garay. Henry now doing the catching for the Trojans. Here's a hot shot knocked down by Michael, and with the speed, I don't think he had a chance. And there'll be an error on the third baseman, and a good start for the Phillies, who need 3 to equalize, and they need 4 to win. That'll bring up the manager and second place hitter, starting shortstop Michael Dreyfus. He's walked, he's singled, he is grounded to third, and boy, he would love nothing more than to get an extra base hit here and get a big inning going for his Phillies. There goes the runner. They stay out of the double play, and that'll be an easy steal. His first stolen base of the day. Runner at second with nobody out. Now Dreyfus with a runner in scoring position. Team is right around 38% with runners in scoring position in this game. Phillies at the plate here, bottom of the eighth inning, trailing by 3, 12-9, the pitch. Strike called. Oh, it's awfully tough because you talk about giving an umpire will give one side of the plate or the other, and Dreyfus has been, it's almost like both. There goes the runner, and here's the throwdown, and that was pretty easy. He must have hit the Staples button, because he was running about half speed, if that. Michael trying to get that runner in from third, and that is low, ball 4. What an at-bat by the manager. That's a tremendous at-bat, no question about it. Now runners are at first and third, and I would anticipate Dreyfus stealing right now, and there he goes, and the pitch is outside for ball 1, and that gets him out of the double play. Or at least, barring a mental mistake out there, gets him out of the potential of Geiger bouncing into a double play. So second and third, Geiger represents the tying run here for the Phillies, bottom of the eighth inning. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Almost got him. 3 balls and no strikes to the third place hitter, and the next delivery is in there, knee-high fastball, a called strike. They've tripled and scored in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 3. And he wallops one to center field, and it's dropping in for a base hit. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score. Good base running by the Phillies, and they are within 1. Dave's second base hit in a row, and he's got his team back in the ball game. It's 12-11. He represents the tying run with nobody out. So he'll bring up Padilla, the cleanup hitter, and all he's done is been on base all 3 times. 2 singles, 2 RBI at bats. Runner goes. That is going to be a stolen base for Geiger. And to wrap it up on Padilla, he has scored 3 times in this game. The 1-0 pitch. Curve. Taken low for a ball. So Padilla, who started the game at second base, and I think he's played a couple of different positions here today. A 1-run, bottom of the 8th inning lead. And as I look at the clock, it's 5 o'clock as of right now. Now, I don't know. We did not hear from the official about the official start time from the umpire. I would imagine that we had to have started pretty close to that time, and that's a strike called. That was a quality pitch that time from Steven, who is on the mound and in his second inning of work, and that's ball 4. He did not go around, and so Padilla is aboard at first base. Kuja is definitely due. This is one of their top hitters, and he is coming up there. Now you've got the tying run at second and the winning run most likely, because I think we have went past the 3-hour threshold. And I think we're going to get a new pitcher in here, so we're going to take a quick timeout. The Trojans clinging to a 12-11 lead. We're in the bottom of the 8th and very close to the 3-hour time limit. Well, I don't think I've seen this for many, many years. The starting pitcher, Andy Felt, is now coming back into the game here and trying to save the game he started. Now, in real Major League Baseball, you can't do this. But in the MSBL World Series, you can do a lot of things that you can't do in Major League Baseball. So now the game is on the line. First pitch was actually 1:58 p.m., so we are well past that. So this is essentially the bottom of the ninth inning. Kuja at the plate, and he takes a borderline pitch for a strike, and it's 0-1 on the fifth place hitter. He's looking for his first hit. He has been on base twice, an error and a fielder's choice. You got the tying run at second, the winning run at first. Strike two called. Two quality pitches for Andy Felt, who started this game. He went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits and 5 runs, and struck out 6. And he's 0-2ing to Kuja, and he steps off the pitching rubber and now climbs back aboard. First and second. And it's way outside. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. An error, a walk, a 2-run single by Geiger, a Padilla walk. 2-2. The 2-strike pitch. And it's upstairs, and the count is full, and they're 1 pitch away from loading the bases here and putting the winning run in scoring position. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kuja. And he bounces it back to the mound. They're going to go to third for 1 and on to first, and a double play for the Trojans. 1-5-3. And there's quickly 2 down. What a fine play and a great decision there by Andy Felt. And another outstanding job by Michael down at the hot corner. Now the tying run is still in scoring position at second base. Bonelli, and the runner is going, and the throw down is not in time, and that is a very important stolen base, because now anything can score him, and we've seen a lot of pitches in the dirt in this ball game. So 1 ball and no strikes. Tom had a 2-run single his last time up. He wants a base hit and an RBI here, and he lines it right at the second baseman, and it's all over. What a spectacular game we've seen here at Goodyear Park. And the guy the player that Andy Felt replaced on the mound makes the final out of the ball game. And Garay is all smiles along with his Trojan teammates as they win their first game of this 2021 MSBL World Series. Final score 12-11. Garay, I think, is actually going to be the winning pitcher in this game. That's going to wrap it up for us here from Goodyear Ballpark. Again, our final score, 12-11 Trojans over the East Coast Phillies. Jeff Lowry saying so long from Goodyear.